May 14th began like any other, with the soft trill of birdsong and the scent of dew creeping in through the cracked window. But the stillness that settled over the house wasn't peace. It was absence. My daughter Ellie's room was too quiet. The bed was made, her favorite lamb missing, and a folded note lay on the pillow like an afterthought. It read, "She walks the hollow path." The paper was damp, though her windows were closed. No signs of struggle, no sign of her. The police responded quickly, combed the house, asked the usual questions, but they left empty-handed. No one had seen or heard anything. To them, it was an abduction without evidence. But I knew better. I had heard the stories passed down in our town about the Hollow Man, a creature whispered of in childhood nightmares, too tall, too quiet, blamed for pets vanishing in cold spots in empty rooms. A myth, they said. Until now. 2 days later, the sky wept. A late spring storm rolled in, and as the rain tapped against the windows, another note arrived. This one had been slipped under the welcome mat, as if left by a polite guest. The same parchment, the same bleeding ink. It read, "Follow, 10 p.m., crosswalk." I didn't alert the police. They would only interfere. At 9:57 p.m., I stood at the crumbling crosswalk at Dutchman Avenue. The light blinked yellow, its rhythm erratic. At exactly 10 p.m., a figure emerged from the alley. Tall, draped in a black coat that seemed to soak up light. He didn't speak. Instead, he held out a Polaroid. It was Ellie, standing in a narrow hallway I didn't recognize, not smiling, not crying, just distant. As I stepped forward, he retreated, vanishing into the shadows. On the back of the photo, one phrase was scrawled, "Keep watching." Sleep became impossible. Every creak of the house made me jolt. I searched Ellie's room again, determined to find something I missed. That's when I found it, a hollow sound behind the closet wall. I removed the back panel and revealed a dirt tunnel just wide enough to crawl through. I grabbed a flashlight and ventured inside. 15 feet in, the tunnel opened into a brick chamber. The air was heavy, humid, and tinged with the scent of old metal. In the center of the room sat Ellie's lamb. Next to it was another note. "She is learning, soon." I backed out and returned the next day with 2 trusted neighbors, Danielle and Mark, both ex-military and not easily shaken. Together, we explored the tunnel system. We found strange symbols etched into the walls and other rooms filled with antiquated film reels and rusted projectors. They weren't powered, yet flickered with moving images. One reel showed Ellie asleep on a wooden cot. Another showed her reading from a book I had never seen, all silent, all impossibly real. Then we found the final room, a stone door with no handle, only 4 concentric circles etched into its face. Hung from a protruding nail was a ribbon, Ellie's. The door opened when we pressed our hands to the circles. Inside was a silo-shaped room lined with projectors, humming without wires or bulbs. The images they cast showed children from different eras, caught in mundane moments, brushing teeth, eating, tying shoes. One film showed Ellie spinning in a hallway, as if answering a sound we couldn't hear. Mark tried to smash one of the projectors, but the crowbar passed through it. In the room's center was a pedestal. A note lay atop it. "She is not lost. She is being learned." A final doorway opened behind the pedestal. Without words, we moved forward. The next chamber was a maze drawn in chalk and carved into the stone floor. Symbols, spirals, and strange mathematical sigils covered every surface. Danielle stepped across one chalk line and disappeared. Her cry echoed once, and then nothing. Mark rushed after her and vanished as well. Left alone, I moved cautiously. With every step, the air bent around me, and the architecture seemed to warp. When I reached the center, I found another circular room. Ellie stood at its heart, encircled by glowing rings. Her eyes were glazed silver, her lips whispering unintelligible syllables that reverberated backward. Behind her loomed the Hollow Man. He stood motionless, but the atmosphere distorted with his presence. A note appeared at my feet, as if blown there by unseen wind. "Return what was borrowed." I reached into my pocket and pulled out her music box, the one she couldn't sleep without. I wound it once and placed it on the edge of the ring. It began to play, but the melody was warped, sluggish. The light in the chalk rings dimmed. Ellie blinked. Her voice changed. "Daddy?" she whispered. The hollow man turned slowly. He pointed one elongated finger at me and then collapsed inward, his coat folding in on itself as if devoured by shadow. The room fell silent. Ellie stumbled toward me. I caught her and held her close. We ran. As we fled through the tunnels, the walls trembled. Bricks fell, dust filled the air, and the passage behind us collapsed. We burst into the night behind my backyard. I looked back, but the tunnel entrance had sealed shut, as if it had never been there. Mark and Danielle reappeared days later. They were different, quieter, fragmented. Neither remembered what had happened in the maze. Ellie didn't speak for nearly a week. When she did, it was in phrases I didn't understand. She drew circles over and over in her notebooks, always four, always overlapping. For a time, things were calm. Then one morning, I opened the door to find her stuffed lamb sitting upright on the porch. Its fabric was clean. Its eye had been sewn back in. Pinned to its collar was a note. Memory accepted. More to follow. The next day, I noticed 4 circles fogged onto the bathroom mirror. Ellie swore she hadn't touched it. That night she screamed in her sleep, claiming he was watching again, from the corners of her room, from behind the wallpaper, from beneath the bed. I locked away the music box in the attic, but sometimes late at night I hear its lullaby drifting down the stairs. I haven't found another note yet, but I know he's not done. Because once the Hollow Man learns your name, he never forgets it.